Boom! What's going on, everyone? This is Steve Larsen from Sales Funnel Radio. Today I'm going to teach you guys the most legitimate path I know to becoming an expert. I've spent the last 4 years learning from the most brilliant marketers today. And now I've left my 9-to-5 to take the plunge and build my $1 million business. The real question is, how will I do it without VC funding or debt, completely from scratch? This podcast is here to give you the answer. Join me and follow along as I learn, apply, and share marketing strategies to grow my online business using only today's best internet sales funnels. My name is Steve Larsen, and welcome to Sales Funnel Radio. What's up? Hey, it's becoming more and more of a frequent question I get as I jump on interviews with people. Steven, how do I become an expert? And the first thing I have to tell you is that I believe that if you are seeking to become an expert, sometimes that can lead to some weird scenarios. I always like to, someone taught me, if you want status, don't seek it. Right? If you want credit, don't seek it. If you want, right, it's that kind of formula. And anyways, but I do have an answer to this question. If you want to shortcut, because I really don't read as many books as I think people think that I do, there is something very specific that I have a lot of intent for that I do pretty much every week, though, that keeps me sharp, that keeps me on my game. So what I did, though, is literally earlier today, I went and I did a Facebook Live teaching the process that I go through to stay sharp, but also, in my mind, is the most legitimate path to becoming an expert, okay, in whatever it is that you're doing. Now, again, I'm not saying like you have to become an expert. No, you don't have to become an expert. But this is also how I shortcut having to learn and read and study and go deep dive all the time, 24/7, new content. That's too many inputs for me. So we're gonna cut over to Facebook Live here real quick. And what I'm doing is kind of an open mic Q&A, but it's the way I started out. I think this is a very valuable lesson because this is not only why people love it when I coach them, this is also why people keep coming back. And I'm not just coaching people on marketing principles. And I know that what I'm about to share with you guys on this episode is the reasoning for that. So let's cut over real quick to the Facebook Live, and you guys can see how I do that and why. I know why stuff has blown up so much in the last 2 years with my stuff. You're about to find out why in this episode. Let's cut over. I get a lot of questions. I am coaching all over the place, and I don't think you guys understand how much I coach. Some of you guys don't anyway. I wake up on Fridays and I do 2 hours of open mic Q&A with the 2 Common Club coaching group. Specifically, what I'm doing is I'm coaching them on their offers and I'm coaching them on their sales messages. Okay. Then I immediately turn around and I do 1 funnel away challenge at 11. So from 9 to 11, I'm doing 2 Common Club coaching. Right at 11, I start typically, honestly, about almost another hour of coaching new people. So 2 Common Club coaching for me goes from, what's up, Todd? 2 Common Club coaching for me goes, right, it's a little bit more advanced people-ish. And then I go immediately the very next moment to brand new people, okay? So it's 3 straight hours. Then at 12 o'clock, I go live with my MLM group, which is fun, Secret MLM Hacks. And I'm coaching, again, kind of typically a newer person, and in funnels though. So I'm switching industries, going industry specific. So from 12 usually to about 1, then I have about an hour break. And at 2 o'clock, then I go live again for another hour. Okay. For my Offer Lab group. And then sometimes I come back here and as well. Okay. So like it's a straight, every single Friday for me is at least 5 hours of coaching, almost straight nonstop. Okay, I have spent a lot of time coaching people. One of the ways that I ended up getting so good, by the way, while I'm talking here, drop any questions you guys got. This is called Open Mic Q&A. Go ahead and drop it on in. Would love to be able to have you guys drop any questions you got going on. Okay, but one of the ways that I got so good so fast, I know why. I know exactly why. And I say it and think people are like, oh, that's cute. No. This is how I did it, okay? I spend as much time as possible with my customers. Okay, that's it. That's the big question. Get a coach and be a coach is how I've advanced so fast. Okay, I know that's the reason why. So if you go in and you're like, hey, I don't know, how do I get better at my craft? You need to spend more time teaching your thing. I don't care if you are an info product. I don't care if it's B2B, right? Retail, doesn't matter. Okay. Go in if you're like, hey, I need to go in and I've got to be able to get faster and better with my customers and coaching and getting them in. The number one way I could ever tell you, drop every book and just coach people, and you will be guided in what it is that you need to get done. Drop any questions you got. This is open mic Q&A. Okay. Thanks, Kevin. I'll get to your question in a second. Thanks for dropping on in. Okay, but I want you to understand, like that was it. When I first started doing the 2 Comma Club coaching, I went live for 4 hours every single Friday, open mic Q&A with my group, the original 2 Comma Club coaching program. I was the only coach with 675 students. I was the only coach, and I went live with them every single Friday for a year and a half. Okay. You know how good you get when that's what you're doing, and then you're answering questions throughout the week? Okay. If you want to get good real fast, just answer people's questions. Just add value. There's the secret. There it is. I don't read that many books. That's not a badge of honor. I read books and I listen to podcasts with the intent to hunt answers. But when I want to get when I want to get better, more fine-tuned on my craft, I coach. There it is. Okay. That's like the big secret. That there is no secret. That's exactly, anyway. So it's so funny because like I'll have people come and ask me like, what are the top books you read? It's like, I could tell you that, but at what cost? And if you're doing it for the intent to distract yourself from going and actually spending time with your customers, it's going to be an issue. All right. It's going to be a major, major issue. So when I can feel that I'm starting to lose my edge, right? If I feel like that's starting to pop up, the thing that I'll run to is coaching. The thing that I'll run to is spending more time ground level with people who are have questions. Okay. And because of that, notably, many times, Russell, the man, has told me, Stephen, you have spent more time with the customer at the ground floor than anyone else. Guys, that's how I've gotten the edge. That's how I've gotten where I am. I know that's exactly the reason why. You want to get better. You want to go faster. You want to add more value. You want to get known. Answer questions. That's it. Okay. Set a time every single time in your week to just go live and do it in front of your groups and say, hey, I'm here because Steve Larsen told me to be here because he says I should answer more of your questions. What are your questions? Right. And just have people ask their questions. You know how easy it is for me to figure out what to sell when I answer a lot of questions? The image comes clear really fast. It's actually faster and, in my mind, more effective than an ask campaign. Okay. I'm going to go and I'm going to help my actual dream customer, and they're going to come in and say, I need this, that. I'm like, cool. Well, here's the answer to this, that. Oh, and 20 of you are asking something similar. Huh. What if I made a product about that? You know what I'm saying? Okay. Way easier. Security helps like crazy, helps everything, makes you better. If you don't know the answer, say, I don't know the answer. Okay. And go figure it out. Right. Or if you think you might have an idea what the answer might be, then just say that. Okay. I had a chance to do a lot of coaching on the 2 Comma Club cruise that we just did. It's a ton of fun. I know the core of my business is content and coaching. Okay. I love coaching, love speaking. One of the sessions I did on the 2 Comma Club cruise, though, was all about, it was about things you need to gather. It was about how the red ocean really builds the blue, and what things you need in order to go build from the red. And they decide what things in the blue ocean are built, which is very fascinating. Anyway, so I was talking, and there was a lot of questions that started popping up, which I absolutely love. One of the things that I've been able to get good at, because I've spent so many hundreds of hours coaching, okay, literally, okay, it's not a cute saying, literally, okay, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours over the last 3 years coaching. It's probably near the 1,000-hour level now, okay. One of the reasons, or one of the things that you start getting good at is seeing, does this person actually have a question about this, or are they asking me a question because they want me to make decisions for them? Okay. That split is what has made my coaching so effective in the last 6 months. I know that's it. Okay. Because what I'm doing to the person's brain is I'm helping them understand, it's the exact same thing. If I'm selling a product to somebody, okay, if I'm selling a product to anybody, there's a series of beliefs and belief gates they have to walk through, right? And they're sequential. There's vehicle, obviously. And once they understand, oh my gosh, there's a possibility this vehicle could work, they graduate to the internal ones. And once they're like, oh man, this vehicle works and I too am able to pull it off, they graduate through vehicle, through internal, and now they're stuck on external, right? I see this vehicle has the possibility to work in general, that I also have the talent to pull it off and pilot that vehicle, and resources and external, and that I have the resources to get where this vehicle is promising I should go. Okay. And what's interesting is, as I watch the questions that you guys will ask, as I watch the questions that people ask me, as I'm coaching individuals, I'm asking myself these questions. Is the question that's coming through to me right now, does that question represent a hang up where the person, are they trying to get me to answer something for them that they should have the power to answer on their own? Or is it a legitimate question? Okay. Most of the time, I find that people are just stuck on some tier. They know, they've got enough knowledge in their noggin, okay, to be able to go answer a question on their own. They do. They know enough to answer the question on their own, or at least take the next step. So is the question they're asking me, is it a question where they are seeking distraction so they don't have to take action? Or is it a question where it's a legitimate question? You see what I'm saying? Does that make sense? There's a split there. Okay. If I can tell an individual is seeking distraction for the sake of not having to take action, I know that I need to work them through vehicle, internal, and external beliefs in themselves on moving forward, not just on buying a product, on moving forward. If I can tell that that's why they're asking the question, please, Stephen, distract me. Give me the semblance of motion. Give me the semblance of momentum so that I feel that I'm making progress in something. Okay. And that's what, right? And that's what they want, to just ask the next thing and ask the next thing. There's a little bit of a dopamine high. There's an oxytocin, there's status, there's endorphins that come with me answering questions as you write them in. Okay. This is big to understand, because once you understand, oh man, I'm starting to ask questions for the sake of feeling momentum, because I know what I want to do. I know what I'm supposed to do. And I know enough to take action, but I'm scared and I don't want to move forward. So why don't I distract myself with further education that I really don't need right now? Stephen, I have a few questions. You see what I'm saying? That split right there has what has made my coaching so effective in the past little bit. And that's why it's such a huge deal. And so when someone pops on and they're like, Stephen, how do you send an email? And I'm like, do you really have a question how to send an email? Or could you figure that out on your own and you're just trying to distract yourself? Okay. You see what I'm saying? So the reason I'm doing this open mic Q&A right now, you guys, every Tuesday morning I set up time to get on anyone's show. Just anyone. I don't care if they're new and I'm the first episode. I don't care if they're experienced and I'm the next. Okay. I hate getting stood up. Hate it. I got stood up 2 times in a row today. Okay. Because people are like, I'm not ready yet. Okay. It just drives me up the freaking wall. I can't even tell you. I am a time Nazi. It's one of the reasons why I am where I am. I'm not saying I don't take breaks, but I'm a freaking time Nazi, man. Right? When someone messages me and they're like, Stephen, I'm not ready yet, and it's the night before or the 5 minutes before, or they just don't show up, it's like, get ready. Like, why just sign up? What are you doing? And I'm like, I'm all jazzed up. I got everything set up here. I got my little diva light. I'm ready to rock. I gotta release a little bit, right? There's a mental prep that goes on. And Colton was like, yeah, man, it takes you 20 minutes. It's been shown to switch tasks, right? Well, I gotta do the thing a little bit, right? I'm like, we're gonna do some open mic Q&A, because like I've been ready, and now freaking 2 hours of my morning's been shot by people who've pansied out. Drives me nuts. So if you guys want me to be in a show, I'm happy to do it. But show up. You know what I'm saying? If you guys want to, seriously though, part of my content strategy is every Tuesday morning. If you guys go to interviewsteve.com, I set that up because I get the request a lot. So you guys can jump on and set a time in my calendar. But if you set it, like, show up, because I'm going to. Will you? Right? When we finally got Tony Robbins to show up, he was like, okay, I can do it at 10 a.m. We're like, sweet. So we all showed up like 8. And we had all these things set up. Okay. And then he was like 5 minutes before, crap, I'm so sorry, I'm stuck in this thing. We have to do 11. We're like, all right, cool. All right, 11, here we go. We're ready. Let's set the stuff up. Tony Robbins is about to get on. We're going to interview the guy. Woo, here we go. Okay. And then he was like 5 minutes before, crap, I'm so sorry. I'm trying to get out of this thing, right? We did this back hour dance until about 4:00 p.m. Shot the whole day. It makes sense because it's Tony Robbins, but the point is, get ready. You know what I'm saying? I'm not ready. Okay, here's how you get ready. You take Expert Secrets and you open up to page 114. It's called the Epiphany Bridge Script. There's your questions. That's all it takes. Ready? Okay, there we go. You know, oh man, I can't tell you how much it pisses me off to get stood up. Okay. Oh man, whew. It pisses me off. It's happened enough times, right? Where someone's like, and I get it because it's booked out quite a ways. So people sign up just out of the fear of the scarcity. I'm never going to be able to interview Steven. And then what they do is they never show up. And I'm like, man, I am so much less likely to get on with you in the future if you do that to me. Pisses me off. Absolutely pisses me off. Okay. I actually am a pretty chill dude. I'm aggressive, but I'm chill. It's a cool combo of it. Oh, baby. Like, set me off. My eye's going to twitch. I'm going to go nuts. Find me another water bottle. Okay. Oh my gosh. Pisses me off. Anyway. Okay. So what I decided to do is I got a few minutes here. I'm going to do a little open mic Q&A with you guys and just know that that is what I do when I'm coaching people and why people like me to coach them. Well, number one, I'm asking myself, it's the split. Is this person do they have an actual legitimate question and where they do not have the understanding and they have sought the answer on their own and I should try and help them answer it? Or number two, are they trying to distract themselves and get the semblance of motion, the semblance of momentum by asking me questions? Okay, that's what I'm looking for. So as I go over here real quick, let me go, and I'm just going to answer a few questions. I got like 10 minutes to my next thing, and just know that that's what I look for. So open mic Q&A is not let me distract myself. It is, do I have a legitimate question that I have tried to Google on my own? Okay? If someone asks the question to me again, ever, Steven, how do I add a funnel? Click add funnel, baby. It's right there. Add funnel. You just click it. You know what I mean? You have got to learn how to answer questions on your own, okay? And that's the name of the game, my friends, right? Welcome to entrepreneurship. Well, I'm gonna have another question. Yeah, duh, we all do. How many times do I wake up and I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing that day? Happens more frequently to all entrepreneurs than most people probably know, okay? So anyways, let me come over here now. Okay, all right, here we go. The more I hear you speak, the more I love you. Thanks, Wendy. All right, love my MLM. However, one restriction is customers recruiting only in Canada. Any suggestions on how to target this market as to find most U.S. marketing tactics do not work the same here? Yeah, literally just change your ads to target the geographic locations that you need. Okay, that's it. That's it. Or literally in the top of the page, you could say, hey, those in this area who are in MLM, I'm going to talk to you, right? Great question, Amy. Just Google it, right? 100%. I actually got a shirt that says just Google it. Actually, it was a gift and I can't remember how many. Anyway, how can you tell the difference between, Sonia, you're asking the question, how to tell the difference between a distraction person, like a distraction-based question versus a real question? Usually the follow-up questions, they're trying to find a way to logically release themselves from having to do what the answer was. Meaning, if someone's like, Steven, now how do I add a funnel? I'm like, well, what you're going to do is you're going to go and you're going to click add funnel. And if they say, okay, and I get that, but like, what if it's like a Tuesday and I don't have any time? And I'm like, that's not for me to solve, first of all. Pony up and make some time in your life. Okay. Number two, though, like you're trying to figure out how to logically release yourself from the pressure of taking action. Okay, you want a release. Okay, we all want to be in the places where we're supposed to be when we're supposed to be at those times, right? If I want to be, right, I need to be included in the groups of people of doing the right thing in my life, but I also don't want to be where I'm not supposed to be, right? I don't want that kind of pressure. I don't want to feel like I'm not taking action, like I'm not like I'm a failure, right? And so if somebody starts asking me questions where I can see they're trying to release themselves from the pressure, the positive pressure of taking action, That's when I'm like, I'm going to call you out. Something's up. Why are you not taking my answer? Because I know it's the answer. Why are you backpedaling? Why are you trying to get me to say, oh, you know what? In your scenario, you're right. You don't click add funnel. You know what I'm saying? They want me to give them permission to not take action, and I will not do that. And it's part of what's made me a very forward coach. Okay, and sometimes people don't like that. Like, whatever. Okay, I don't care. Okay, I'm about getting people results. Anyway, makes sense. I would have taken that time. I know, right? And other people are fighting for times for me, which is part of the reason why it pisses me off so much. If he's just getting stood up, oh my gosh. Oh, geez. Hey, Steven, you keep me motivated moving forward. Awesome. That's great, Kathy. I'm glad you find me motivating. Just make sure you turn it to discipline. Motivation is nothing. Boom, what's up? Haha, you're cracking me up. Boom, wow. I stay ready so I don't have to get ready. Love it, Mike. Absolutely. Kyle, I'm not ready yet, but if someone ditches again, let me know and I'll be ready ASAP. Thanks, Kyle. Appreciate that. I have one set up in several weeks. I'll be ready. Hey, Roger, looking forward to it, man. It'll be great. Absolutely love that. Oh, man. Yeah, we'll wait all day for Tony Robbins, right? Exactly. Love it. Good evening, Steve. Loving One Funnel Away, by the way. I'd love to ask you, what do you do when you don't know what to do next? That is a legitimate question. Does that even happen to you? You always look like you have everything completely figured out. One of my questions, one of my little tactics is to stay booked up as much as I can. I know that a percentage of the activities I'm doing right now may not be what I'm wanting to do 20 years from now. You know, I don't know that, though. And it's hard to know which percentage of what I'm doing right now, right? I set my goals, and then I map out as best I can the things that I think are going to take me there. And then I just act. I just run. Understanding, right? You know how many, guys, I tried 17 businesses that I went through that were failures. Okay? Now, number 18 would not have been a success unless I had done those other 17, first of all. Okay? But on the flip side, thank goodness 17 tries. Thank goodness they did not work. Otherwise, I'd be doing those businesses. You see what I'm saying? All of those things prepared me for the thing that was coming up on number 18. Bam! Okay? So there's two things going on in my head. I understand if I just had to book myself and just run and just do stuff, just take action, big, massive action. Stop stressing over the fact, like, and as I've moved on, literally only in the last 6 months have I gotten good at, like, okay, only these activities will take me to where I want to go. But I still know that there are things that I'm doing that I likely shouldn't be, or don't take me where I'm trying to go. So I have a few options. Right? Number one, stress the freak out over every single action I take. Oh my gosh. And it's like, that gets so stressful, right? Or just like do stuff. Okay. So sometimes when I wake up, especially when I was just starting out, it's not so much anymore, but when I was just starting out a year ago, there were many times I woke up and I was like, I have no idea what to do next. Okay. And that can be stressful. I have no idea. So what I do is I think to myself, what is the next move I can make that makes money? Just that one question. And then I'll list out all of the things that I think I need to do to make money. And then I put a big green dot next to the things that are massive revenue generating, but mentally taxing, like building a funnel, writing a sales script, okay? And then I'll put a small green dot next to the things that are revenue generating, but not as revenue generating in the moment or as mentally taxing. Things like creating a relationship, right? You can make money, but not in the moment. And then I put a big red dot next to the things that are not revenue generating. I erase all of the red dots. I only do the big green dots, and I do them during the time of the day when my brain is most fresh, which for me is usually 7 a.m. to about 1 p.m. Even if I stay up late, I have a hard time sleeping past 7. You know what I mean? It's like shallow. It's like my brain is just most active from 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. I'm going to do the big green dots during those times at that time of the day. Small green dots on the rest, and I will never do a red. Okay? So that's one of the ways. answering the question, what is the next path to cash? How do I get there? And I list out all those things. A business that is not revenue focused dies. And my role as the entrepreneur, I'm the only one who cares about my business in the way that I do, right? That's just the way it is. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just the way it is. It's your baby. Don't expect it to be someone else's baby, okay? I'm the only one responsible. The buck stops with me on making a buck, okay? The buck stops with me on moving forward. The buck stops with me on going and getting the new client, okay? I can go get closers. I can go get phone people. I can go get funnel builders. But it's ultimately my fault on what does and does not happen in my business, okay? So I'm answering the question, how do I serve and how does it make money? Okay, and when I figure that out and I do red dot, green dot, that helps like crazy. Oh yeah, wasn't that awesome? Hey, just real quick, a few months ago, Russell asked me to write a chapter for a secret project he was doing. And I had to write a chapter for a book, and this was the prompt. This was the letter I got from him. He said, hey Steven, let me ask you a quick question. You suddenly lose all your money, along with your name and your reputation, and only have your marketing know-how left. You have bills piled high and people harassing you for money over the phone. Plus, you have a guaranteed roof over your head, a phone line, an internet connection, and a ClickFunnels account for only 1 month. You no longer have your big guru name, your following, your JV partners. Other than your vast marketing experience, you're an unknown newbie. What would you do from day 1 to day 30 to save yourself? Russell Brunson. Hey, if you want to see my answer and a bunch of other marketers that also had answered that in this amazing book and summit, just go to 30days.com/Steven. Again, you can see the entire summit, you can see the book, you can see what we wrote in there, and each of our detailed plans, just go to 30days.com/Steven. That's 30 as in 30, 30days.com/Steven, STEPHEN. Guys, enjoy.